ജീവന്റെ വാക്യങ്ങൾ ജീവന്റെ വാക്യങ്ങൾ.
ആ പഴയ കുന്നക്കുരുടി എന്ന നവമാധ്യമ വേദിയിൽ ഞാൻ കേട്ടത് നിങ്ങളോട് എന്ന ധ്യാനചിന്ത പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക്.
The verse that inspired me today is from the book of John chapter 11. It is known as the Bible's shortest verse, but it is a verse which has a very deep and profound meaning in it. You might have guessed it, it's from the book of John chapter 11 verses 35, and the verse is Jesus wept. But to explain to you what is about this verse which I like so much, I'll have to give you a little bit of background and context. Jesus is on his way to the tomb of Lazarus. Lazarus is the brother of Mary and Martha, and Jesus loved three of these people. Jesus knew that Lazarus was sick, but he delayed his coming, and due to the delay, we see that Lazarus passed away and had been put in the tomb for almost 4 days. When Jesus was traveling toward the tomb of Lazarus, we see that he is met on the way by Mary and Martha, both of them crying and expressing with disappointment that, Lord, if you had been here, our brother would not have died. The question still that we need to think about is, why did Jesus weep when Jesus knew that he was about to go and raise Lazarus up? When I read this verse, it gives me a view into the heart of God. How he feels, how much he cares about his creation. How he is a God who can very deeply relate with the pain, the joy, the fears, and the sorrow of his creation. We look at Jesus, and the verse here says, when Jesus looked at the crowd weeping and crying, when Jesus heard the words of Mary and Martha, when he looked at the mourners, when he looked at the relatives, everybody, when he felt the atmosphere of sadness, Jesus weeps. And we see that a little examination of this passage indicates that Jesus was able to see and feel the sorrow and the effects, the destructive consequences of sin and this fallen world. We must remember that death was not something which God created for man to feel or experience. It is an accident, and it is a phenomenon that came into life because of the sin of mankind. It was never an originally created human experience. And maybe that's why death and separation hurts us so deeply. Now, Mary and Martha could have thought, does Jesus not care about us? Jesus took more time to come to our place. Did he not care that we were weeping and afraid of our brother and crying and waiting for him restlessly, full of anxiety? But the truth is, it's not that Jesus does not care. The truth is that Jesus cares. Jesus cares enough to weep for his loved ones. Jesus cares enough to look at the effect of death, look at the sorrow of the ones he loves, and feel the same sorrow in his heart. We all know that this passage ends with the miraculous event where Jesus Christ calls Lazarus out of the grave. And it is a gentle reminder to me that if God delays the answers to my prayers, it's because he has planned something good for me. But even during this time, if I might be suffering, I never need to doubt about Jesus and God's love, because I know even when I'm going through pain, when I'm going through sorrow, when I'm going through fear, Jesus, my God and my Creator, can feel the exact same emotion. He cares about me. He knows about my heart better than anyone else. His delay is not caused out of negligence or ignorance or lack of love. Even when he makes me wait during difficult times, I can rest assured in the fact that Jesus loves me, and he feels exactly what I feel, and he's eager to come and save me. He is truly a God who is very deeply connected with His creation and is very deeply in love with His creation. And I don't think there is anything more beautiful than our God. May these verses inspire you and encourage you today. May the name of the Lord be glorified.